Welcome to the Real Crack Chronicle. I'm your narrator, Piff, the smoker. You can read my disclaimer. Like I said, we're going to pick up on Bear Trap too, but again, all these stories are real. Just the names have been changed to protect the innocent and the guilty, like I said before. So let's just pick up on where we left off at the last time. So I had to break up that fight between Bear and Frida when she threw that hot tea on her. When he threw that hot tea on her and she tried to throw that goddamn whatever kind of lamp that was at her. So we get it all calmed down, and she's over in the bathroom tweaking. So she gonna stay like that for about a good 20 minutes or so, whatever. Then she'll come back to normal. She'll be fine again. So as we in there, we sitting down. I'm talking to him, and he's smart, but he just, he a monster. He love that crack. So his little giddy up was he was to get all the hoes in there. So if he get the hoes in there, he knew the tricks was gonna come. And if the tricks was gonna come, they was gonna pay the hoes. And once they pay the hoes was gonna get to work. And if they wanted to get high in it, they had to break him off something. So that's how he was getting his high off their hustle. If they wanted to sit down, they had to pay house. That's what they call paying house. Paying house means you gotta give crack to the person whose house it is. So a lot of people floated through there. The first one I could think of that was off the top of my head that stood out was Egypt. Yeah, Egypt. She's real slender, petite, dark skinned. And she always had this like meanest look on her face, but she wasn't mean. She was nice. But when she fucked around, hit that little boulder, that rock, she had that 1,000-yard stare staring at the floor. That was her tweet. And she was always, she was a booster. Like, I see this child sit mine, and she had to at least rob the Grove Hall Mall for at least a goddamn $1 million worth of shit. She'd come out there with diapers and everything. Because, see, I had a little baby back then. And so while I was outside, I was smart. So I used to send them in there to go get all them diapers because I wasn't paying for them diapers. So I used to just go out there. I'm like, yo, I give you a couple of these things. You go in there and give me. They'll come back and give me 10 boxes, 10 cases of diapers, 10 cases of wipes, like 2 of them things. So shit, I used to do that all the time. I'm talking about I had a wall in my house. My babies never went without diapers or nothing else. Because that was my whole goal, was to always take care of my family when I was out in the streets. I didn't give a fuck about that partying and jewelry and none of that. No, man. I was a single dude, man, that had to take care of his kids, man. So every dollar came home. That's why I had no time for tricking and none of that. I was just out there for the business, but I had so much action in the streets at night. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was just living 2 lives at that time. So I get acquainted. Bear tell me he wanted me to stay up there, so I could do my thing, make sure these hoes will take care of it. He can get taken care of, and I can get taken care of. So it was a win-win situation for me. So a place I could sit down and be quiet and be out the way. I ain't have to be in the streets like that. So I was good with that. So yeah, the hoes would come through there, do their thing. They'll probably take their trick in the bathroom or go somewhere else and do it, and they just come out and see me. So it worked all well for me. It was good. But again, you always had your little shit that would go on every single day. And to me, it was like living in goddamn Eden. Every time you turned around, there was some chick getting high, taking her clothes off, being naked. You know what I mean? I used to be on the phone with other females. They're like, what you do? I'm like, listen, man, this girl. I'm like, could you go put your clothes on and go sit over there, please? No. They be like, what? I'm like, this happened every day, people. Every day. I'm talking about, you thought it was goddamn Garden of Eden up in there. Everybody stayed naked. If they wasn't naked, they was getting high. Like, they would just be paranoid in the corner doing weird shit. But they said this was all entertaining. I never seen how it was, but hey, to me, it was just for the dollars. So here come my man. So Bear introduced me to one of his homeboys, Sam. So Sam was good. Sam was a cool dude. You know what I mean? And so Bear would call Sam bitch ass nigga. That was his nickname. I swear to you not. Nigga name, we call him Ban, short for bitch ass nigga. So he's like, I'm just a bitch ass nigga. That's what he would always say. No, he wasn't that type of dude, trust me. He'd bring it to you, though. He was an old school dude, man. Even though he smoked that thing, man, he still was ready for war. So don't play with him now. So we was sitting up in there. We was just I just got to know him. We was sitting down. We was like, whatever. And I had to go do something. So he was like, yo, Piff, man, take my car. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you can just take my car. And you know what I mean? That's what kind of made us cool. Even though he had his own little vices and things that he did, I never really judged nobody for their vices. You know what I mean? Because I was there for the paper. You let your God judge you. I don't judge you. You know what I mean? I don't judge, man. That ain't my time. You know what I mean? Because I got a whole lot of things in my closet. So I ain't got no time to be judging nobody else. You heard me? So I was just there for the paper. Anyway, he had this little car. It was real. It was like little smart cars. They were blue. So man, I'm like 6'2". I'm trying to get up in a little small car, but I drove that bitch. I drove it now. Don't get me wrong. It was a late nights I had to drive to get them diapers home and everything else. And yeah, cause I'd be scooping up diapers on the late night and be sitting them up at Bed's house and stash them up and shit. I'd take them and drive them home. I was that type of dude, man. I was always thinking about my babies first, man, nothing else. So while I was up in there trapping and everything else, it just became, I don't know, almost like we was cool. Like, I looked out for him after a while, but he would always get in this shit, man. Bear was like a freak dad. So one time, I goes and pops in on, because usually I come through there at night, but the kids is in school, so I pop through there during the day so I can make a little change. I goes in there, he laying down on the bed. He got this other hoe, her name Irene. I don't know if she was Spanish or Cape Verdean or whatever it was. Well, she straddled over the bed, like she's standing on top of the bed like Y form. So I walks in, this nigga got his face in the place. He just straight eating her out. He got the stem in one hand and he got his face in the plate. So he'll take a hit, then he'll eat out. Then take another hit, eat out. So I walked in, I was like, man, what in the blue hell is you doing? He said, listen, son, I'm out. He said, I'm out to lunch and went back to eating. I said, God damn. So, and then 20 minutes later, he fighting with her, throwing a phone at her. This is the type of stuff that would go on, man. Because once the crack went low, everybody got to go. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no money, he was throwing your ass out. He wasn't even playing with you. He had a rest haven for hoes, but if you ain't had nothing for him, you couldn't rest. So that was another saga that went on up in that. You know what I mean? And it was like things would go on, and the last part that same day, I don't know what words got into it, because usually I don't really catch the words of what happened. I usually just see all the action. So goddamn Raya and Egypt get into a fight. Oh my God. That shit was brutal. They took it all the way through that. That one bedroom handicap apartment went through a lot of shit. So they fighting from the living room to the goddamn bedroom. Then it was in the hallway. Then they brought it back to the living room. And all of a sudden, I mean, and I didn't think that little Egypt could fight, boy. She could whoop boy. She started tearing in the riot ass. And then Bear had this little statue. It looked like a big. It was a rock. It was like a lamp, but the shit looked like a big ass giant crack rock. So, so he used to call he called that his light of crack. So I swear to God, it looked like a big ass boulder. So, Ethan was just tearing Ryan's ass up that day. Yo, Ryan got a little country accent. She's like, I'm gonna get you, bitch. I'm gonna get you, bitch. I'm gonna get you, bitch. So they just swinging blows. All of a sudden, Ryan tried to pick up the little crack rock, and Egypt saw it. Egypt hard up, and I don't know how she hit her in both her eyes. I don't know how she did it. So Ryan fell back. All of a sudden, we see Ryan got two big ass black eyes like a raccoon. I was like, whoa. So I finally ended up breaking it up. Because see, when the crackheads fight, I don't break that shit up. I don't break that. I let them fight. I let them fight to the end. I don't care. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Because once you get in the middle of it, man, you just become involved. So I don't want to. But I ain't trying to play no referee over no crack attacks or no crack issues. So they get to fight. We break them up. And Ryan, she damn near gave her a concussion with that fight. And you think about it too, because Ryan was bigger than her, but That little Egypt was skinny as hell, but she was wiry and quick, boy. She jumped across the bed like a cat. It just popped her right in the eye. I said, oh. So we just, man, that was hilarious. And the bet, nah, I'll wait. I'll tell that for part 3. What I need y'all to do is hit me up on AskPiff at 617@gmail.com. Once again, I'm at AskPiff. That's AskPhiff for all you motherfuckers who can't read. 617@gmail.com. Hit me up and give me some of your ratchet and crackhead stories. I know you got some cousins, some friends, some mamas and dads. They all done did some crack. Or they all done did some shiesty shit. Or they all done hustled a little bit. Trust me. Over here, I change names. Even if you give me real names, I'm gonna change them names because I don't want nobody getting caught up by 12, man. You know what I mean? Because 12 be listening to all this stuff, but all this stuff is way, way back in the past. It's way out of, you know what I'm saying? Is what I did is long and gone. So it don't matter now. I just tell the stories to other people. They want me to put them out to the world, let them hear this, how real crackheads move. Because I was right there in the essence. I was in the trap. I was in the bear trap. And I was trapping hard. I was getting mine, you heard me? So again, hit me up on AskPiff at 617@gmail.com. And remember, man, keep your chin up and your chest out. That means always hold your head up. Don't look down. Ain't nothing down there but the earth. You know what I mean? And when you go outside, watch your surroundings, people. You always got a hater in your neighborhood that don't like you and look for every opportunity to knock your head off. Don't be that one. Because as I say that, there goes some fool outside getting their head knocked off right now because they didn't pay attention to their surroundings. So, as I tell y'all always, I'm going to pat myself on the back. Piff, piff, all right? I'm about to go hit this blunt, and y'all have a blessed one. Peace.